Hey, what's up? Felix here from Videofootage. In this tutorial, I want to talk about the importance of sound design in video editing. And for a better illustration, I've created a short video and added some matching sound effects. There are only sound effects and some cool ambiences, and it works. There's no extra music. So let's have a closer look first to the whole video, and after that I will show you step by step how you can apply the sound effects into the timeline the right way. So let's have a closer look and jump over to it. Okay, the video was about 40 seconds long. I used about 30 different sound effects, and all the stock footage you can see here in this video was taken from ArtGrid.io. It is also linked in the subscription box under this video. So the sound effects I used are all from our Videofootage sound packs. I mainly used the Krypton pack for this cut. So I will show you how I applied the sounds and how I created the sound design based on the timeline. At the end of the tutorial, I will show you a short preview of all the sound effects that you can find in the Krypton pack. What purpose I had in mind when I created them and how you can put them to work. Let's begin by heading straight to the timeline. To make things clear and easy to follow, we will go through each audio track step by step. I select solo on the audio track 1 so you can hear exactly what I've been doing. So let's listen to the first track. This is the atmosphere that accompanies the whole video. Here in this clip you can see I've installed a little speed ramp as well for a cool effect. So let's jump to the second track, and I put a wind effect into this one. Matches neatly with a flight in and gives the impression as if you are flying through the landscape like a bird. Let's jump here on audio track 3, again hit it on solo, so we have a glitch effect, a glitch transition effect at the beginning. And if we go forward here in this track, we have a whoosh sound that supports the speed ramp and the edit to the next clip. And the whole thing is reinforced even more by this swoosh that lies underneath it and leads to the next cut. There we have this transition on track 5. This transition which is intended here for the film dissolve at the beginning. And so if you see the whole thing, if you take a closer look, you can see the sound effect layering really well here. So note the stacking of various effects, which is essential for a crisp sound design. So like those 3 swooshes, which all have different functions and work together to accompany the transitions perfectly. If we go further here, we find this riser effect that builds it all up now. We have a few cuts here, so let's play it for a moment. So the tension is being built up here. You know the trick from Hollywood films, so when an almost uncomfortable tension is built up until the point where you get a bad feeling until the scene finally comes to redemption or the dissolution. Let's move on track 6, and here we have a nice bass. That supports the whole atmosphere again. And here we have the atmospheric dark. You probably know this one. It's a heartbeat, which I cut to the edit. In audio track 7, you can see how the transition is been building up and how that pushed the fast traffic in the city. Here towards the end we have the heavy transition. When the wave hits the shore, the transition to the fire. And that's the bang towards the end, where all that tension has been built up to. So in track 8 is filled with this explosion sound, to support the lightning and thunder. And it supports this swoosh when the camera comes out of the tunnel. Okay, now we have the first part done here in the timeline, and now let's jump back to the middle, to this important riser here, which I mentioned before. This riser builds the whole tension up to the point where it ends with the bang. Then we have this wind effect here. That amplifies the wave. And on audio track 3 we can find the explosion. That hit that pushed the whole scene and fades into the picture of the woman in the water. It gives the whole thing that special vibe. We have the same here again with this whoosh medium lava wave. They match perfectly with these pictures. So let's listen to it again on solo. There we have this nice transition between above the water and below the water. Another important effect is the genius hit explosion. It has this pull effect. Let's listen to it again. It just fits perfectly to the part where we came out of the tunnel, with this pull towards the transition into the air. The transition backs up the whole scene. This transition from the train out of the tunnel up into the air. And here we simply have the relaxing airplane sound. So to speak, the flight atmosphere. That supports and strengthens the scene. So now let's listen to it all together one last time. I'm going back here to this scene with the space effect. There we have this feeling of going from the Earth to the sky to the galaxy. So the atmosphere is now changing. The whole thing is matched with another wind desert atmosphere, which is different from the atmosphere at the beginning. This second atmosphere emanates feelings of emptiness, vastness, endlessness of the universe. And here on this track we find this boom stomp effect, which I also found very suitable. The next one is this short riser that goes into the void. I also worked a bit with the speed ramp, as you can see it here, as a neat transition into the void of space. Here, if we go back a little further on the other track, we find this Braam effect, which supports the picture when it travels from the airplane over this red galaxy image. I used the Braam to enhance this transition and to initiate the space travel bit until we see the astronaut. And here at the end, on the same track, there's a glitch effect from our transition pack, which shows how the Earth shakes. On the other track, here's a swoosh that supports the Braam effect a little more if you listen to them together closely. And here at the very end, we have a harder heartbeat again. That lets everything fade out nicely. Boom, done. And that's how it all sounds together. hope I was able to show you how effective sound design can be, which different sound design elements are included in our Krypton pack and how you can put them to work. I will show you again the different effects in detail and what I would cut for them. Let's start with the wind effects. They can be used perfectly for drone pictures. They are also suitable for generally supporting the ambience. Here we have the classic swooshes. These are perfect to use for transitions or when tension is building up, or when something flies or drives by. Here we have the transition folder. I think they are pretty cool and strong too. The sounds always remind me of the Transformer movies. They are really good for logo displays or when something is building up. Here we have the risers. They have this slow build up that usually ends up abruptly. I always use them to support the dramaturgy, to build up tension until we hit the final cut. In my video example here, when the fire explodes. Here are the hits. I use them here for the thunderstorm. You might know them from Hollywood trailers. Hits are used when the actors' names fly in. You can always highlight stuff like that with a hit. Or for some cool trailers, for spot trailers as well. We come here to the glitch effects. They are always a little spooky. Here we have a short one, which I also used in the example video. It's also available as a sci-fi glitch, perfect for glitch effects as support or transition. Here we have the drones, one of my favorite effects, just great to use for atmosphere in general. And drone effects are always good for building tension too. Here we have the Braam effects. You also know them from Hollywood productions like The Dark Knight. They are perfect for cutting engaging trailers. Here are a few boom stomps. They can be used for short text displays. And here we have different bass effects. Use them to create certain moods. For example, to create oppressive feelings. These effects are good for displaying emotions and supporting the sound. And this is the atmospheric folder. Since I worked entirely without music, I used these effects to create a basic tone or mood for the example video. The atmospheric is very important to create the underlying mood. All of these effects are extremely important. In general, a solid sound design is essential in order to get the whole video to a higher level and to give everything that certain special something. Like I said, I prefer to work with layers of sound effects, and I keep trying out different combinations. Of course, it's always a lot of work, and sound design sure is time consuming. But the results of sound design speaks for itself and always has a great influence on the impact of your video. So no matter if you are editing a showreel, trailer or a short commercial for a local gym, if you want your video to stand out and give them more impact, these effects will be the icing on the cake. Good sound design takes your post-production to the next level. And of course, you can also work with fitting music pieces and sometimes replace the atmosphere with a song. But it works better if you enhance the music with matching effects to generate the layers. Sound effect layering helps to make your video feel more realistic and gives it more depth. Regardless whether you prefer music or ambience, your filmmaking, your final cut will get to the next level with the right sound design. And of course you can do so much more. You can pan your sound effects, you can work with stereo effects, you can make it slower or faster and play around a bit and check out what fits your needs best. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you are interested in our sound effect packs at Vamify.com, feel free to apply at the checkout Felix20 to save 20% extra. Please leave me a comment below what you think about my video edit and hit the subscribe and the like button. See you soon, Felix from Vamify.